I am delighted to be interviewing today the leadership team at MedCruise, three wonderful individuals with fascinating stories. So I'm going to get the lowdown on what the association has been up to and plans for the future. So without further ado, allow me to introduce Theodora Riga, President of MedCruise.
Hello, Holly. Thank you so much. It's incredible to be here with you and the Vice Presidents of MedCruise, and just remarkable to be celebrating 40 years of Seatrade.
So happy to be here with you, Theodora, with all of you. And with you too, Laura Camaglia, who is the Vice President of MedCruise. Thank you for having me. And last but not least, Anne-Marie Spinozzi, the SVP of MedCruise.
Good morning, Ollie. Thanks for the invitation.
So first of all, Theodora, I'd like to start with you and find out how you're settling in to your role at MedCruise.
It was immediate. It's an incredible board of directors, 15-member board of directors. We've gotten to work immediately from day one, the first board of directors meeting in Malaga. And we've just been moving steady on along with a great team, a great secretariat, very supportive. And we're really concentrating, each board of directors member is really concentrating a lot on their own tasks, but at the same time coming together because there's a lot of overlapping for all of the tasks. So we're very closely coordinated, meeting regularly and exchanging what's going on in the developments.
Absolutely. I believe you have 2 additional board members since you've taken up the role of presidency. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. We had a new region developed and specified in MedCruise Association. So we have 2 more members. That's why we've reached 15 now. And it's great because we get everyone's direct perspectives from all the regions in the Med, because, you know, it's not easy. 22 countries, 11 within the EU, 11 outside the EU, things changing in the cruise sector on a daily basis. And we're here to assist in making things change for the positive. At least that's what we're trying.
Great. Theodora, is there one area in particular that you are focused on, or an area that you would like to see enhanced during your role as president of MedCruise?
Yes, there's one thing that I would like to not change. I think the word is enhance. I'd like to speak more as a sector based on data. And I think it's very important, the work that we're doing now with the strategic alliance, with all of the other cruise associations in Europe, together with Cruise Baltic, Cruise Britain, Cruise Norway, Cruise Europe, and MedCruise. We meet regularly and we have a set of actions that are planned. We coordinate regularly to be able to have a strategic narrative that will be based on data, and will have, I think, a different quality of discussions for the cruise sector in total.
Yes, I understand that, Theodora, data is becoming increasingly important, isn't it? And that's something that you are seeing then at MedCruise, this emphasis on the importance of data collection.
Very much so, because the world has changed. Let's take, for example, media. Someone says something, it's published, it's out there, and it's everywhere. And a lot of times, there's no data backing it up. Somebody just says something. If you have the time to discuss with someone and say, well, what do you mean? What do you mean that there's a problem somewhere? I mean, this is a challenge that we'd like to address. And we think that this challenge can be addressed with data only. I have numerous examples, but we have a lot of work to do. And I don't want to say something before we have official results to publish.
Great. Well, speaking of media and engagement, I'd like to come now to Laura, because Laura, as well as your role of Vice President, you are also the board member for Cruise Community Engagement. So perhaps you could tell me a little bit about what you've been up to.
Yes, thank you for the question. I was a board member already 2 years ago, and then I followed my task in MedCruise, which was at the time port and city relationship. So, also consulting with Theodora and Anne-Marie, we basically decided that this was to change a little bit because it is about the relationship between ports and cities and cruises, of course, but the attention now is in the communities. And I'm getting back to what Theodora was saying. Most of the time we hear news on papers and so on, but there is no issue instead. So we want to focus on the communities and see how they are engaging with the cruises, also taking over some of the cruises to work with us. So my plan in the board of directors is to work with our members and find out if they have any issues and discuss their issues. The new task is going to lead, we hope, it's going to lead to a sort of guidelines because we are so many members and we are so different in the business. We have small cruise supports and enormous cruise ports like Barcelona. And of course, the pressure can be different. And working together, we cannot find one solution for all, but we want to be there for our members and try to set some guidelines in order to face some problems and some issues that they might have in the process. This is because, our association is based on a sustainable cruise of the market and not just growth of the market. And in addition, I can tell you that we are seeing also this change in the cruise lines while they are focusing much more than in the past on the community. And this is also something that some of the main cruise lines are focusing on, and we are already collaborating with them.
And the guidelines, Laura, will these be published online? And do you have a date in mind of when they would be published?
Well, as Theodora was saying, we are much focused than before on data and on scientific basis. So this is a 3-year plan, and we are starting very soon, but I cannot tell you what the output will be because you know how things get, and then probably they will also change. The idea is to have something published and delivered by, for all the members to use. But we'll see what it becomes through the process.
It sounds very interesting. I really look forward to seeing those.
Thank you.
And before I come to Anne-Marie, I want to ask you one more question, Laura, regarding your role at MedCruise. And because given your background in law and your role in international affairs at the Port Network Authority of the Ionian Sea, maybe you could tell me how that has played into your current role at MedCruise, what experiences that has helped bring across.
Well, an association is a company after all, and we have to be focused also on doing good. And also the evolution we were speaking about with the changes that we're making in the association go through also some boring stuff. For instance, constitutional amendments and evolution, because you cannot use a constitution of 1992.
We're going to be 30 next year.
Exactly. So we have updated it, during the years, but we are now starting also our committee for new amendments of the Constitution. And of course, my background in law is useful for that.
Now, you've both served previously, as you mentioned earlier, Laura, that you've served on the board before. You've both served on the board of directors at MedCruise. So how have you seen MedCruise evolve?
I think the association is in constant evolution. As Theodora said, the world has changed, but actually, over the past 5 years, the cruise industry had to face a major challenge with the global health crisis. The industry has taken a huge step forward into green transition, and at every step, MedCruise showed its capacity of resilience, its capacity to be there for some members, to help them address those challenges and support them into this green transition we all have to make. I think this is also the reason why now we are the largest cruise port association in the world, with 159 port members and 51 associate members, because we are here. We have this capacity to adapt no matter the situation, no matter the country, because yes, we have members from 22 countries, from EU and non-EU countries. So we have this capacity with the board of directors, with the diversity of the board of directors, to be able to address every challenge to every member and put associate members in all those countries. I think this is how the association had this capacity of evolution until today.
And would you agree with that, Laura?
I do agree, and also I must say that the association is very resilient. I think we proved during the pandemic that we are a family only, more than a company, as we were speaking, because we immediately put down a plan to be together, even if we couldn't be together in presence. So we had a lot of meetings online and webinars, and we invented the famous morning coffee that I was presenting at first, and now is with Nikki Guerrero, our Secretary General, and now is on the hands of our good friend Marie. So yes, we are resilient, and I think this is a good thing, because as we were saying, we are so different, and diversity is our power. So it's good to be different, and you need to understand everyone's needs.
And we are connected.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it really changes, the board member, the structures. I know that, Theodora, you're taking on a bigger and enhanced role, right? You've got a couple more responsibilities as the president compared to the last mandate. That's right, isn't it, Theodora?
Yeah. We've all had the pleasure on serving on the board of directors in the past, and there's a lot more to do now in this new position, especially with the Strategic Alliance of Cruise Port Associations. But I really, if you don't mind, I'd like to touch back a little bit on what Anne-Marie said. She's absolutely correct. And Laura, of course, with everything that they said, especially for the agility of the ports, and not just of the association, of all the cruise ports. Let's remember, cruise restarted in the Med. There's a reason for that. And this reason was that we were very closely tied in and knit with the whole cruise community, not just the cruise ships, not just the ports, everyone coming together, media, lawmakers, everyone came together step by step to restart. And I think we're seeing the results of that now in a good way. We're very tightly knit, and the engagement is becoming more, let's say, it has become enhanced in any case. The cooperation has led to, I can give you an example with data that I was discussing before. A couple of years ago, European Seaports Organization published a study and said that in the next 10 years, 80 billion euros will be invested, and that's what I was referring to, that Anne-Marie was saying, in green transition of ports. So 80 billion euros. I mean, we're focused. It's not just for cruise. It's for other businesses as well. But most of our ports, if not, definitely not all, but most of our ports are not just cruise ports. If you're in MedCruise Association, you're focused on cruise. But the ports that we all work at have a lot more business, and a majority is multi-purpose ports. So we're very, very involved in all the aspects of shipping.
What's the situation at the moment when it comes to shore power in the Mediterranean?
Shore power in the Mediterranean, from the side of MedCruise, we've had an excellent study that has been prepared by Valeria Margheriotti and also Jamil Luzani. And they came out with a study about a year ago, last year actually, it was presented here at Seatrade, that shows that for onshore power supply, 6 in 10 ports want to be ready and to have invested by 2030. So they want to, they're willing. It's not going to be ready by 2030, not for 60%. But what's important is that everyone, it has a plan, has started.
And from sustainability and these efforts and studies, onto the event side, because Anne-Marie, as well as your position at MedCruise, as SVP, you are also the board member for PR events and the MedCruise partnership program. So how different is working on events to working in TV production, which I know you've done a bit of, to say the least, in the past?
Yes, for 9 years.
Yes.
Actually, there are a lot of similarities between the two of them. We have short deadlines, a few weeks for a TV show, a few months for a General Assembly for MedCruise. We need to find the right content to address the right topics, to find the right people to be invited. So there is a lot of logistics and organization in both of them. But at the same time, you need to be creative, to have some fantasy. So yes, the contexts are different, but
some fun also.
and have some fun. Yes. TV. Yes, working on TV is a lot of fun as well. The contexts are different, but the vibe is quite the same. And I have to say that working with the hosting ports, because I'm a board member, the hosting ports do the job, and the great job for organizing the General Assemblies. And I like it very much because I have this connection. I love people, and I love MedCruise family. I love the ports and the teams, and my task in the board of directors allows me to have this connection with the hosting ports. It's one, of the major events in the cruise industry now, a MedCruise General Assembly. We are quite 200 people, so it's a big thing for the cruise sector. And yes, I think now people from the industry, cruise lines and port members are all looking forward to our events. We have a second one in Šibenik in October.
And on top of that, I have to ask you, how is it you've got such a range of port members, all from, different, spread out, different locations, and how is it that you kind of keep up with their different needs?
That's the most amazing secretariat in the world. Nicky has come back, and he's really leading the way with the support that he has of his members. And everyone in MedCruise, as we were saying before, everyone is so outgoing. If something goes on, they just pick up the phone, they call. If they have an event going on, nobody's going to say, oh, I doubt somebody's going to come. No, they're going to pick up the phone and say, look, we have an event. Who's going to come? And somebody's there. So it's coming along nicely together.
That's correct.
Great shows are always
Supporting each other.
always supporting each other.
It's one for all and all for one.
Yeah.
Very true. It's cliche, but it's true.
I'm not only within the board of directors, really.
Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, we're also friends. I mean, not with all the ports, of course, there is a friendship, but many of my friends in the past 10 years have come from MedCruise. So we also, talk not only about cruises, so about dresses, makeup. Yeah, we are very fond of that.
Shopping. Yeah. No.
We became friends.
And I think
Something very important.
And I think, yes, you can feel that, yes, we love each other. Yeah.
That's so wonderful to hear. And I feel that, this strength and this bond between you when you're together. And it is really lovely to see. So I can definitely vouch for this. So, and I want to ask you, Theodora, because obviously, you've got your role at MedCruise, but also you recently embarked on a new role, moving from the port of Thessaloniki over to the port of Corfu. So, what are your main responsibilities there? And
Well, with the position of president of the Port of Corfu, I actually have a lot more time to work on MedCruise matters, because presidency is a position where you do a lot of day-to-day issues, but not as many as I was doing before in Port of Thessaloniki. So it's more strategic. It's more boring board of directors meetings, etc. But no, it gives me more time for MedCruise. And at the same time, it has already given me a remarkable ability to be present at the first socioeconomic impact assessment produced by Corfu Port Authority for cruise, which goes hand in hand with what we were saying a little bit earlier about data. It was incredible. Within a couple of days, being appointed by the Minister of Shipping in Greece, I was there, and we had results that was already prepared by the team at Corfu Port Authority and University, with a detailed study on how important cruise is for Corfu. And they come out with a number, and they came out with a methodology. I kept it in the back of my head, of course. It was presented officially, and it was a huge success, just not only for the amounts that are generated, but also for the jobs that are created. And lo and behold, when I was in CLIA Cruise Week in Rotterdam, there was another similar study done, which was on 10 ports internationally, and 5 of the ports were discussed. The results of 5 of the ports in the region of Europe were discussed, and it was basically hand in hand with the same results that we had in Corfu Port Authority. So all of this is coming together, mind you, from different backgrounds and from different areas, different ports, but all the information is coming together to have a clear view on how important cruise is, not only for the local economies internationally, but also for the local economies. And it's only 2.5% of tourism. So imagine, I mean, it's going to be growing and growing and growing. So we're at the beginning now. And I think we have a duty to make sure that the narrative is correct and based on data.
Very interesting. Now, this brings me to my final question. So I would like to ask each of you to please tell me what you feel unites MedCruise. Who would like to start? Laura.
Diversity. I've learned so much from my friends on MedCruise, and it really opened my mind, because I'm in MedCruise since 2011 with my first position in the port of Brindisi, south of Italy, and it really helped me a lot. It's a place to learn through people and through data and through studies, and it really helped me grow.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same. I'm here since 2015, so yes, it's been 10 years, and I learned so much with MedCruise, and yes, I feel I really grow thanks to all the board of directors, the board members, associate members I had the pleasure to meet, and I had the pleasure to have around me all year long, because we were speaking about events before, but it's just 2 weeks during the year, but MedCruise activities all year long, and we are with each other all year long. So we have trainings, we have podcasts, we have so many meetings, working groups. So this is a constant activity, which nourishes ourselves, really. So yes, our diversity, we used to say that our diversity is our strength, and I think it's really, accurate.
Definitely.
Closely knit bond. When I joined MedCruise, it was in 2017, and literally I was taken by the previous member of the port that I was at to MedCruise, and he literally introduced me to everyone in the market, and I was accepted like this. And it wasn't because it was me, it was because it was coming from him. And he simply said, you know what, this is your new family member. It's like a newborn being born. It comes into the house and it's part of the family and it's over. And that's how it is. It's one big family. And with all its ups and downs and everything that happens, whether it's a health crisis or whatever happens in the sector, but it's one big family. And it's just there.
Well, thank you so much. It's been so wonderful and encouraging to talk to you about this and get some real insight and feeling of MedCruise, of the leadership and this feeling that you have amongst you all, this unity and acceptance of everybody, which is so nice and just shines through.